Today on Get in the Lab, we're talking about being a coach. Now, I know you have some preconceived notions about this word, but with our recent expansion in our wedding photography business, as well as mine, Clean Media, I want to share with you guys 10 reasons why you should adopt a coach mentality in your personal development, whether you sell it or not, okay? Plus, we get into some affiliate earnings and some new content coming on the rising. More on that in 3, 2, 1. Plato said, "Know thyself." It's not always easy, but it is necessary. This is Get in the Lab. Hey, it's just me. Don't worry, okay? It's just me. I just have fun with that. Welcome back to the lab. My name is Megan. I run small little experiments here on the lab to gain big life personal goals, and then I tell you about it. So thank you so much, guys, for being with me today and spending at least 30 minutes with me. More and more people are doing the long formatted thing and video podcasting. It's already a thing, like in YouTube, it's already a thing in YouTube, but more and more people like us, like the podcasters, are kind of warming and wetting our feet with it. So that's exciting. It's exciting to be on the brink of something, So I want to thank you guys for being with me, till this point in time in the show, because it's been very up and down, and I'm just really, really thankful. And I think, the most important thing that you can do, tip number 1, if you're doing something like this and you're creating content and maybe you're kind of unsure about it, or you're not hitting those success marks that everybody else seems to be hitting, focus on making relationships, making good friends, genuine friends, good relationships, putting yourself out there in a genuine way, because that, my friends, is the key. It's relationships. And it's always been like that. And that's not even new business. That's old school business. Like, playing golf with your business partner or potential business partner or whatever, making those relationships, they're built on real human emotion and trust and, so good things. So I'm just in a good mood because that message that I gave to you guys right there, that's the reason why I'm so excited for a lot of things that are coming up with Get in the Lab and just, me personally and professionally. So it's good things. It's good things all around. But like I said, we're going to talk about 10 reasons why you should adopt a coach mentality in your personal development, right? And that in turn is going to affect your professional life, your personal life, and so forth. Okay, because the number one relationship, right? Everybody thinks like if you're single, that they're not in a relationship. You're always in a relationship, whether you're married or single or whatever, divorced, you're always in a relationship. Why? Because the first relationship is with you. You and you. That's the first relationship that you're in. So you've always got to kind of check up with that. That's why Get in the Lab is about self-development. And I'm sorry it took me so long to realize that, okay? Because, I had to check with the relationship with me. Okay, so we're going to continue on with giving away a t-shirt, a Lab Rat tee, to a lucky random reviewer on iTunes. So thank you so much for leaving your reviews on iTunes. I'm going to go ahead and read one since I don't have anybody to read it for me. And what you can do is follow me on Twitter and then PM me. And we'll talk about getting you a free t-shirt, okay? Here's one by Social Strategy Podcast. Inspiring and informative. What a great podcaster. It's refreshing to see an actual interesting video podcast that's done with thought and quality. The episodes and just long enough. The episodes are just long enough. I guess that's a typo. And have great information. Really enjoyed the podcast movement episode. Keep up the wonderful work. Thank you. Thank you, Social Strategy Podcast. So follow me on Twitter. I'm at Megan J Photo, and I'm going to hook you up with a free Lab Rat tee. We only have size small and medium, sorry. So you can decline if that doesn't interest you. That's cool. But I just want to say thank you. And since we had those kind of lying around, I wanted to give them away. So and also that's for US residents only, please. Oh, wait, before we go on to the next segment and talk about the niche site update, let's talk about the new content that's on the rise. Okay, so you guys are gonna, it's still very like in the air, in the works. We're still putting it down on the board, you know, brainstorming it out, mind mapping it out. But finally, after like 3 years, I'm going to be talking about what I originally talked about when I started, you know, making content, which is relationships. Excuse me, my hair is being weird. Which is relationships, and within the context of being an entrepreneur in a relationship. So we haven't named the show yet, and I have a very, very awesome friend who's going to be partnering up with me, and we're going to be putting our minds together to be putting forward a new type of content that's going to be sort of a sister brand or sister show, or I don't know. It's still within Get in the Lab. Okay. So we're still working it out, but I really want to let you guys in on what we're thinking about and keep it transparent, and, you know, just kind of keep it real, because that's kind of what happens. Like you set forward these goals, and that's why I don't set goals like until like 5 years or something like that. Like I set very, very immediate goals, like maybe 3 months out. 3 months out, 6 months out, and that's kind of it. Like if I was planning a year out, is because maybe I was getting married or something like that, right? So I plan very, very kind of intuitively. Of course, I'm always like, okay, you know, I might die, so I better get insurance and crap like that. But for the most part, like professionally or within this career of doing shit online, I plan very, very short term, because things change, and these are one of the things that are changing. You know, I never knew that I would run into somebody who would kind of believe in me in this way and make me believe in myself even more. And I think that's the power of friendships. Like I was telling you guys earlier, you know, go out there and make those relationships. That's like the number one thing you can do, besides getting a fancy ass camera or a computer, or you know, taking a course. Like make relationships, like make genuine friendships with people. There's a lot of people now who are kind of in my inner circle, like my friend Jeff calls them board of advisors, people who aren't connected to you monetarily, but they're people that you can turn to kind of keep you grounded, and you know, can put you back on track and just support you. Your board of advisors. So we're going to steal that, Jeff. So, my board of advisors, you know, I include Jared in there. I include Kevin in there on some levels. Kim Monzi, who else? Some people in my mastermind group right now. And, yeah, I keep it pretty tight, and they're always real with me. And I think that's something that you should work on. You know, if you don't have that, if you don't feel like you have that, or maybe you want to build it up, then that's what I would do. I would build up your board of advisors. Okay. So, this new piece of content, yeah, we're going to talk about being an entrepreneur, specifically in a relationship. And then kind of branch out from there. We're not really sure, but it's relationships. It's love, and it's going to be kind of the things that people aren't talking about, or maybe they're ashamed to talk about, or it's taboo to talk about it. We're not going to be vulgar or anything like that, but I think it warrants discussion, and it's sort of like, you know, I would love it to be like Good Man Project. In video form, in an entertaining form, in our form, you know, and put my spin and style on it. So that's what's going to happen. You know, again, that's very loose announcement of what's going to be going down. But I think it's important for me to just kind of put it on the show and to keep myself accountable. You guys can, you know, ride along with me on that journey. Okay. So, okay, let's get into the niche site update. Really cool updates on that side. Okay. Cool. So, in the niche site update, we always do this in our second segment of the show. And somebody was saying to me that I should put even more segments in the show. That's a great suggestion. I will think about that and see what I can do. I always wanted to put in a news segment of the show and just kind of commentate on some news that is relevant to us, you know, us being the lab rats. So, I'll think about that, but otherwise, you know, the niche site update, I'm very, very happy to report to you guys that the last time I checked, I earned like $46 from Amazon affiliates, which is, it's not really anything, right? But look what it bought. This little doohickey thing. So I'll do a proper review on it sometime today, maybe, or something. But it's basically a shoulder rig. And if you saw the local Lab Rats episode with Jeff Koga, we were in LA, and we were doing a lot of kind of, you know, B-roll shots, those little shots that tell the story. And I was showing you his lab and all that stuff, and they were very shaky. It's hard to do that when you've got your hands on the camera. So the most important thing, you know, when trying to get a steady shot is that you don't have your hands directly on the camera. You need like 3 points of contact between you and the camera. And so that's what this thing does. We've got, you know, one hand, other hand, and then the third point would be like your shoulder. So this is a shoulder rig. And so this was like $40 off of Amazon, and it was clean because I could, you know, basically got it for just making some videos and some people buying some stuff off of my affiliate links. So I think that's really cool. That's a really great way to kind of validate my efforts when I've only been really driving traffic to those affiliate links for the last like 3 months or so. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And also, very importantly, write something for tech.co, and I partnered up with Dave Chesson from kindlepreneur.com, and he was able to help me kind of strategically write out certain things within this article so that I could, you know, give some link juice back to Get in the Lab and the niche site as well. So it's really cool. It's really an honor to be working with somebody like that. And so thank you, Dave. I really appreciate that, man. And if you guys are in any need of any SEO writing stuff, you should visit kindlepreneur.com with Dave Chesson. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to be writing some more. I've got some very easy topics to write about concerning the stuff that I know, and then I'm going to start submitting those to some more blogs out there so I can get some more guest posts. So while I'm doing that, why don't we take a break and hear a word from our sponsor? Tired of lugging your real books around, breaking your back trying to make it look like you read stuff? Why not listen to a book? You'll absorb way more from listening to it than skimming it and saying that you read the whole thing. Winky wink. Just visit audibletrial.com/getinthelab for a free audiobook of your choice. They have over 150,000 titles to choose from. I'm listening to Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I love that gruff voice telling me to go do shit. Just remember, that's audibletrial.com/getinthelab for a free audiobook today. Okay, we're back. Always fun to do a little skit with the sponsor. I like that. It's super fun. Anyway, free book from Audible. I can't beat that, right? Okay, so let's get into 10 reasons why you should adopt a coach mentality for your personal development. Okay, so I really wish personal development is such a long, boring word. Let's, it's not really brand friendly. Let's call it self-dev. Okay, let's forever call it self-dev. I'm gonna write personal development because that's what SEO picks up. But for you and I, it's self-dev. Okay, self-dev. Okay, so the number one reason, in no particular order, okay, because I just kind of wrote these out. Why you would want to pick up a coach mentality? You communicate better. You just you learn how to be diplomatic with how you talk to somebody, how you teach somebody, how you inspire, motivate, or demotivate somebody, right? So as we're expanding Kevin Levu Photography, and we're starting off this new branch called Coverve, and that's commercial photography, we're going to be bringing in all of these people to work under this umbrella with us, which means training. And so we've been doing that kind of, on and off. Now that we're older, I think it's just good timing. We've been in the business for like 7 years now, and we don't really plan on stopping anytime soon. But at the same time, we've pretty much got it down. So before, when we were trying to teach each other, we were basically training each other before, Kevin and I, and it was so difficult because we were young, we were hot-headed, we were impatient, but we were also very passionate. And because we were passionate, that kind of moved forward through, that pushed through a lot of the headbutting that we had as creatives in the beginning of our relationship and the beginning of the business. But now we're here at this place where we've grown up a little bit, we've matured a lot, we know how to communicate to each other in a much better fashion, and we pass those lessons down to the people who are not in a relationship with us but want to work with us. And doing that in the most effective way possible is making sure that our communication skills are very, very practiced, right? And we've done that just with each other over these years. And so I just see an incredible, like, after I talk to somebody who's training with us, I just feel a lot better about where we're going, because we're able to say what we want to say and get the results from that communication, right? Because our communication skills are now up to par. So you become a better communicator for sure by adopting this kind of coach mentality. All right. Reason number 2, you trigger inspiration and hidden passion. So even though, I retired from shooting, guys, and I was very passionate about leaving, and trying to do my own thing, but I love sharing what I know with these new trainees who are like just eager to drink up all the information, right? And who make a change, and you go see it happen because they make it happen for you at the next wedding or the next, at the next shoot or whatever like that. And I get to do what I love, which is, getting on the mic and giving feedback and sharing my story and sharing my experience. And there's a passion now for training and for teaching in this way. And I didn't know that. I didn't think that I would actually like that, but I really do like it. So that's a surprise to me. And I think it's a surprise to the trainee as well. Like, oh, this is a new way of learning. I didn't know I could learn through watching this YouTube video that you made for me. That's pretty cool, right? So, reason number 3. Okay. Jesus, I'm back. Okay. Sorry. Number 3, you raise the bar. Now that you're teaching, it's like you're not just in your little bubble anymore, shooting or editing or making albums or blogging or whatever. Like, now somebody's watching you do it, right? So now you've raised the bar not only for yourself, but for the people around you, because you're now on this new level, like, we're doing something together. We are now actually on this level. It's not just you going do your thing, I'll go do my thing. It's now here, right? And you keep raising it because we're all talking about it and discussing it all the time. And I think that's really cool. Number 4, you learn patience. You learn how to be patient. So this one's very important for me because I'm not a patient person at all. Not a patient person at all. And that, has always kind of been my habit, my bad habit. And it makes me, it cuts off my ability to empathize with other people, because I get impatient and I'm just like, whatever, if you can't do it, I'm going to move on, and it makes me a little bit mean, I guess, in some ways, but I don't want to be mean. I want to be stern, but I want to be able to do what we want to do, and we want the results that we want. And so in order to kind of push through these new sort of boundaries of being a coach or mentoring somebody or training somebody, whatever the word that you want to use, you have to be patient, because myself, I have to tell this to myself, I have to be patient because I'm not like a professional trainer. This is the first time I've done this crap. This is the first time Kevin has done this crap. And we all just have to be patient and kind of work through the miscommunications that will happen or the failures that will happen, and be patient with that fact, because we have this overarching goal, right, that we all want, which is to expand. For the associate that's working with us, they want to shoot, they want constant work, and we want to kind of move back from shooting. So patience, Patience. And it's something that I not only take, all of these lessons that I'm giving you, it's within the context of expanding this other company, right? Kevin Levu Photography. But it's very much very dear to what's going on in here and in here, because the moment that you can change your own behavior, your own emotions from whatever context that you learn it from, man, it can just do tenfold in other areas of your life. And so that's why this shit applies to you guys. Okay. So I just want to make sure I don't lose you. All right. So number 5, you learn to let go. It's very difficult for somebody who's a creative and they've built something up completely in their own brand and their own style. Like me with this show, I want it to be a certain way, right? And so if somebody were to come in and like try to take over editing, right? I would be like, please, can you just do it like I want you to do it? But the thing is, when you strangle something or someone in that way, that's like, it's so confining. You never allow them to develop their own creativity. You never allow them to develop their own style. The same thing with the people that you work with. If you're always on them, how can they show you what they're made of? And this works back and forth from the leader to the follower and the follower to the leader. How can we show each other what we can actually do if you don't let me do? Right? So it's something that the trainer and the trainee has to understand, is that, hey, I'm going to give you the freedom to go do shit. But you better freaking show me, right? So there's that line of communication that always has to be open. And that's something that that's a relationship not only with like you and somebody else, but like you and you. So when I'm saying that, what I mean is, like, say I'm making videos for the first time, right? But I always hit pause because I messed up on a line. Okay. So that can't happen. You can't always self-edit yourself. You have to just hit record, do it in one take, and however many mistakes you made, you just have to let it come out. You just have to let it unfurl, and slowly you'll start to refine it on your own. But if you keep stopping yourself, if you keep constricting and you keep pressing pause on the record or the camera or the mic, you're never allowing yourself to really dig in deep and kind of feel the soil, get into the ground with it, right? And so like, this is something that I'm going to be teaching, like, on one of my webinars, and on how to deliver your message the way that you want to deliver it, is to do your shit in one take. Do that in one take. Okay. Because it always helps me when I just know that I can just kind of let go and, dig in deep into the content that I know that I want to, the message that I want to deliver. Okay. So, all right. You learn to let go. Number 6, you learn it's not about you. This is a big one, guys. This is probably should be like number 10 or whatever, but I was just thinking. So you learn that it's not about you. As I'm training other people and as I deliver my message here on the show or on a course that I'm giving or a webinar that I'm giving, I learn I know it's not about me anymore. And this is something that I've always said, but I think the habit always goes back to, well, what about me? How much money am I going to make or whatever? How much time am I investing? The thing is, when you establish a coach mentality, you now understand that you are not the monument, you are the bridge. So let me say that again. You are not the monument, you are the bridge. And so as a coach, it's like when you go visit somewhere, you see a monument, go, oh, here it is. Okay, I'm done. Okay, that's not what I want you to do. I want you to become a bridge, to go, to enable people, to give them access to their dreams, their desires, right? That's what I think a coach is. They give you access. They're a bridge. They're not the monument. So I don't come on here, guys, and tell you on the show that, everything is honky dory over here and you should do it my way and my quality is the best, or whatever the hell some people may be thinking when they watch the show. I am not the monument, I am the bridge. So I'm here to enable you. Okay, I'm here to give you access to what you want to do. And if you want to do it in my way, in my style, then come on board. Okay. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing. That's my biggest takeaway, is like realizing I'm not the monument, I'm the bridge. Right. So all these people that come in and train with us, I go, if you want this, here's the opportunity. I'm going to help you as much as I can. You don't have to do it my way. I'm showing you a base. You know, this was my base. I'm sharing it with you. I'm sharing my story. This is how I got out of this hole. This is how I started to, you know, gain traction. But for the most part, you know, you're going to do more. You're going to do more with it. I'm just your bridge. We're just a stepping stone here. An important one, but just a stepping stone. All right. Number 7, you become a beacon in a storm. So when you become an entrepreneur, you know, okay, my friend Jeff goes, what? It's like 90% of businesses fail or some shit, some crazy statistic. You know, shit's going to be hard, right? So if say you're a podcaster and you're just starting a new show and you're like, okay, I didn't get that interview, or I didn't get that whatever, or I didn't get that guest, or the mic wasn't connected to my computer, right? Like shit will hit the fan. But if you have people in your life, that can help you get on track, like I was talking about, you have maybe, you know, mentors or coaches or people that you can rely on, your board of advisors, they become kind of these beacons in a storm when the shitstorm is like, you know, going on and it feels like everything is falling apart. But now you have this person to, like, you know, just be your beacon. It's like the safe harbor. I remember when season 2 was ending, and it was ending because, you know, it needed to end. And number 2 is because I was burnt out, and I was just like, I was feeling like nothing that what I was doing was getting any traction. Like, why am I here? Why am I even here? Right? So I told my friend Jared, and he was that beacon for me. And, you know, I don't pay him to do that. He's just a really good friend who said, you know, calm the fuck down. He didn't say that to me. That's how I tell. And then he's like, don't do anything. Just chill. Don't do anything. Okay? And then come back to me in like 2 weeks. And that was like, I needed that, you know. And if you can have somebody in like that for you, when that's going to happen, when you break down, because you're going to break down at some point, okay? Whether it's a big one or a little one, you're going to have a little meltdown. It's okay. It happens to everybody. But to have that support, you know, that beacon in that storm, right, I think is really, really powerful. And if you can do that for somebody else, right, I try to do that with as many people as I believe who need it, right? So, but if you can do that for somebody else, you know, adopt that coach mentality and be a beacon for others when the shit hits the storm. I think that's going to be really nice. All right. Reason number 8, it can be monetized. This one's obvious, right? I know it's like kind of like, oh, yeah, well, I put it in there because I think it's legit. That's what I'm doing. I'm monetizing my ability to coach, to mentor. So this is something that you can do. And I've heard this over and over again. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be this and that. And it's true. It's true. You can help somebody out there, someone out there who just, who just a little bit more about that particular thing, right? So yeah, that's more than enough reasons to adopt a coach mentality, because you can monetize it, right? All right. So reason number 9, okay, it keeps you on top of your game, kind of similar to raising the bar, because you're teaching people now, right? You're now being looked at, in a certain sort of light, and so now you don't just change your mind willy-nilly. You have a little checks and balances with what happens when you're making decisions about being a coach and how you lead your life, right? Because you now have people that look up to you, who depend upon you. And it does feel like you have this now responsibility to be more than what you were, yesterday, right? So I think that's great, because otherwise, why else are you here? To just, take up space? That's how I felt sometimes. I felt like before I got into a crazy, bad relationship, I was just like, why am I here? Like, I would honestly, I already shared this in a show, but I would honestly think like, maybe I'm going to die like early, and that's why I don't know what I want to do. Kind of morbid, I know, but like, if you don't feel excited about your life, you have the power to change that, And I think when I realized that, it was like, blew my freaking mind open. wide open. And if you don't realize that you have the power to make your life exciting for you, you don't have to be jumping off buildings and shit. I don't want to do any of that. Like, my idea of excitement is like, I come home, it's clean. I have like all these little, pieces that I found, and they all have stories to them. And I get to play video games, and the house that we own is truly ours, and we have no roommates. My family is happy and healthy. That's what excites me, So if you don't have that in your life, you have the power to find it, to create it, right? That's more important, to create it, not find it. But yeah, so it keeps you on top of your game. All right. We got a little sidetrack there. Okay. Reason number 10, last reason. Okay. It's pretty cool that now, you become a part of that person's story, whoever you coach, in a way, whether you're getting paid for it or not. I have a lot of like coach mentors that I don't pay for, but we have friendships, and I look at them as mentors because they teach me so much just by being in their presence, and how they look at things and how they perceive their world and how they create wealth and happiness in their life. And, the fact that I am in a way a part of their story and they're a part of mine, that's really cool. Like, I'm always going to think of them, these people that have helped me get to where I am now, on a professional and personal level. I'm always going to be grateful to them, and they're always going to be a part of my story. And I think that's really cool, And so if you can do that for somebody else, which is something that I'm striving to do, that somebody would maybe look at what I'm doing and what I'm creating and saying, thank you for that. That really helped me. Then I've done my job, then I'm going to be very happy with what I'm, doing professionally. So let's take a little break. I want to thank the people that have mentored me so far. Funny enough, they've always been men. But I think that's because I connect with men better. And I think, I'm not going to fight that. I mean, that's cool. But you know who you are. And thank you so much for mentoring me and teaching me, more than I could ask for. So that's a very good feeling to have. And I hope you guys, took something away from this episode. Adopting a coach mentality. You don't have to adopt all of these things, but think about, I think it's important, if you think about these 10 reasons why to adopt a coach mentality, whether you monetize it or not. It's an important thing to kind of keep going. And, it's pretty cool. It turns the wheel of good shit happening in the world. And, I love that we're a part of that, So anyway, good things, guys. A lot of new things coming on the horizon. I'm very excited. I'm very pumped up for it. I'm so excited that this morning I woke up at like 6, and then I had my coffee. Right. I did a little YouTube, whatever. I went to the gym, and then I worked out there, and then I had such a blast just driving in the new car. It's funny how new cars make driving fun again. And then came back home, and I cleaned everything like a madman. And then I went down and I sat down and I recorded the show, and still had this, blazing energy from working out and just being kind of active. And yeah, I'm very pumped. I'm very excited. So good things. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. You can still leave some reviews on iTunes. I would really, really appreciate it. I appreciate your feedback. I'm listening to you. Anything that I can do to improve the show. Somebody said maybe more segments in the show. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing a news segment. I would love your thoughts on that. And yeah. So good things. We'll see you next time here on The Lab. Once again, my name is Megan, reminding you to get The Lab. We'll see you. Peace. Hey guys, what's going on? So I have a free course on video podcasting. If you're interested in doing this here, I want you to click the link below or in the description, and it'll give you a free, it'll direct you to a free video course, and I show you how I do it all. So 6 steps to video podcasting, and you can get that for free. Just click below in the description. All right. So good things. See you later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, so click over there for the next video. I think it's over there. It's either over there or over there. I'm going to just do this. That way I'm covered. All right. Peace out, guys.